How one choice changed everything. In the quiet town of Riverview, a teenager named Neil found himself at a pivotal moment in his life. He had to choose between following his parents' expectations or chasing his own dreams. Neil's parents wanted him to study business and join the family company, but his heart was set on becoming an artist. The pressure from family and society weighed heavily on him. One day, he met an old man in the park, painting a serene landscape on a canvas. The old man noticed Neil's interest and invited him to sit down and talk. "Why do you look troubled, young man?" the old man asked kindly. Neil shared his dilemma. He loved art but felt obligated to follow a different path. The old man smiled. "Life is full of choices, but only one will lead you to true happiness. The choice to follow your passion." His words struck a chord with Neil, making him think deeply. That night, Neil couldn't stop thinking about the old man's advice. He wondered if he had the courage to make the choice that would change everything. The next morning, Neil sat down with his parents to discuss his future. His heart raced, knowing this conversation could alter the course of his life. "I want to be an artist," Neil said firmly, his voice shaking a little. His parents looked surprised but didn't interrupt. His father frowned. "Art? It's not a stable career. You need security, Neil." Neil felt a pang of fear, but remembered the old man's words about following passion. "I understand your concerns," Neil replied, "but this is what makes me feel alive. I have to at least try." His voice was calm but resolute. His mother finally spoke. "We just want what's best for you. Are you sure this is the right path?" Neil nodded. "It's the only path that feels right to me." After a long pause, his father sighed. "If this is truly your choice, we'll support you. But promise us you'll work hard." Neil felt a wave of relief and gratitude. With his parents' reluctant blessing, Neil enrolled in an art school. He felt a mix of excitement and fear as he took his first step toward his dream. At first, the challenges were overwhelming. He doubted himself, especially when comparing his work to others. But slowly, with each brushstroke, Neil found his rhythm. His love for art grew stronger, and so did his skills. As time passed, Neil's work caught the attention of his professors. They praised his creativity and encouraged him to participate in an upcoming exhibition. The day of the exhibition arrived, and Neil was nervous. It was his first time showcasing his work publicly, and he feared rejection. As people walked by his paintings, Neil watched nervously from a distance. He noticed a few people stop and stare longer than expected. Suddenly, a well-known art critic approached Neil's work. The critic smiled and nodded, clearly impressed by the unique style. Word spread quickly, and soon Neil's paintings were the highlight of the exhibition. People began asking him about his inspiration and future projects. The exhibition was a huge success, and Neil sold several paintings that night. He realized that the choice he made had opened doors he never thought possible. As he walked out of the gallery that evening, Neil felt an overwhelming sense of fulfillment. One choice had changed everything, leading him to a future he never imagined. His success grew over the years, but Neil never forgot the moment he decided to follow his heart. It was a reminder that one brave choice could shape an entire life. He often returned to the park where he met the old man. Reflecting on that pivotal moment, he wished he could thank the man who had given him the courage to make that choice. One day, as Neil sat by the park's oak tree, he noticed a young girl sketching nearby. She looked lost in thought, much like he had been years ago. He approached her and asked, "Do you love to draw?" The girl nodded shyly, admitting she was unsure whether to pursue it seriously. Neil smiled and shared his story with her, encouraging her to follow her passion. He saw the same uncertainty in her eyes that he once had. "Remember," Neil said, "one choice can change everything. Believe in yourself, and you'll find your way." The girl smiled, inspired by his words, just as he had been all those years ago. As Neil walked back through the park, He realized that the cycle of inspiration had come full circle. Just as the old man had once given him the courage to choose his path, he had now passed that gift on to someone else. Years later, Neil became a renowned artist, but more importantly, he never stopped helping others find their way. He knew that one choice could change everything, not just for him, but for anyone brave enough to take that leap. Moral of the story: one brave decision can change your entire life. Follow your heart and take the leap, because the right choice can open doors you never imagined.